Hey guys, what's up? My name is Art. There's been a lot going on this week. Actually, there's been a lot going on this year. Like guy getting shot in the back. Guy gets shot in the back. Different reports saying different things. Different eyewitnesses and everything else. Problem is that what happens is when stuff starts to go down, people whip out their cell phones and start recording. Okay, people whip out these cell phones and start recording. So what happens? What you see on TV, the media, and all this other stuff, you only see parts. You only see part of the situation. And the thing is, you only see the last. You only see the worst part of it. And what happened is that, of course, if you have any kind of viewpoint on it and you express your viewpoint on that whole matter, a lot of people say the same thing. Okay? A lot of people say the same thing. They say if you do nothing wrong, you have nothing to worry about from the police. That's what they say. If you do nothing wrong, you have no problems with the police. That makes sense, right? It does. So, has there ever been a problem where, have there ever been a time where the police did something to save you or even me and nothing was done wrong? Is that even possible? Think about that for a second. Is it possible for a police intervention to happen and the person did nothing wrong? Is that possible? Okay. Now, what I'm going to see, I never really wanted to tell this story. I never really thought I would have to tell this story. But I'm going to tell this story. And what I want you to do is, I want you to keep an open mind. Just please keep an open mind. Yes, this is a very serious video. Very serious video. And I want you to keep an open mind. And I want you to watch until the end of this video before, if you want to say something, just wait to the end of the video before you start commenting. I just want you to do that. Okay? All right. Now, I did have an encounter with police officers. I have. I'm not going to lie, I have. Some of them good, some of them not so good. Okay? Now, do I like the police? The answer is it's bittersweet. Do I support the police? I do support police, yes. I'm not anti-police, but my attitude towards police is bittersweet. Now, could it be I just had a bad case of bad luck? Or is it something more? That's all I'm going to say on that. Okay. First thing I'm going to tell you is I'm almost 50 years old. Okay. I had 2 drunk driving offenses. I got busted for drunk driving twice. And those were some of the positive things. My interaction with the police during my DUIs was actually pretty positive. I felt safe. I felt totally safe during those 2 interactions. And out of maybe the odd 20 interactions I had with police officers, the third time when I got assaulted in my own house, and when I had a domestic issue. So there was 5 incidents where I had very positive-ish interactions with police. One time it was a domestic dispute with my mother's husband at the time, before he passed away. He was so drunk. His blood alcohol was so high. He should have been like, and he got mad at me. We had an argument, and he tried to pull a knife on me, and I pushed him through a glass table. Police, he went to the hospital. He told them to arrest me, told them to shoot me, all sorts of stuff. And I decided, you know what? If this guy comes back home tonight, I might have to go to jail for killing this guy. I might have to kill this guy. Now, mind you, I don't have a gun. I don't own a gun. I own this. I own this. See how rusted that is? See how old that is? This is the only thing I got. The only weapons I have is technically my body and my mind. And if they're working correctly and I'm on point, I might get hurt, but I will deal with some damage too. And I'm not bragging about it. I'm not bragging about that at all. But that's not the issue. They came, they talked to me, they put me in the back seat of the car. And then they realized they wanted to make sure there was really nothing wrong. Then what happened is they talked to me. My story matches everybody else's except for his. And the fact that he was so drunk, they had to keep him overnight. The police officer said to me, he says, it's best that you go away for a while, because I don't want to have to come back. I said that's what I was planning on doing, because if he came back tonight, I might have to go to jail. He goes, okay. Boom, go. But, even that was pretty positive. Yeah, I got thrown in the backseat of a car, but still, that was still pretty positive. A lot of the times where I have accidents with police officers is traffic stops. Okay? Most of those traffic stops was more along the lines of, we need to write tickets. Okay? Usually at the end of I'm not sure about nowadays. I'm pretty sure they still have to write so many amount of tickets per month. And usually close to the end of the month, that's when you see them in presence. And that's what I see. That's what I got mostly. Was basically I get pulled over for speeding a little bit. I get a ticket. I go to the court, pay, just so I don't get the points or whatever. Okay. Some was cool, some was not so cool. But, and sometimes they pull you over for no apparent reason, because they suspect something. Okay, number one, I don't listen to hip hop very much. If I do listen to hip hop, it's usually 1980s to early 90s hip hop. Otherwise, I'm listening to some kind of metal or some pop or something. And of course, I still get pulled over sometimes. But this particular time, I got pulled over. I'm trying to tell you, I have got pulled over many times. A lot of times, yeah, I got a broken tail light or busted light, busted tail light or busted turn signal or whatever, headlamp or whatever. That stuff I'm not talking about, because that's just stuff that's okay. If one of my headlights goes out, yeah, you're going to get pulled over, and you're driving home at night. You're going to get pulled over, and there's no way to get a new headlight or new, you know what I'm saying? That I expect. But the times when you don't expect it, that's where the weird stuff happens. So I'm going to tell you about this little incident that I had. And I kind of told Dynamite Kid 100 this story. I'm not exactly sure I told him the whole story, but I kind of told him bits and pieces of it. Okay? About 10 some years ago, I used to hang out with a bunch of people and play Dungeons and Dragons. No big deal, right? What's Dungeons and Dragons? I mean, I'm pretty sure you've heard of it. You know, Friday night after work, a lot of us get there to his house around about 7, and we play till like 11 o'clock midnight. The house that my friend lived at was technically an all-white neighborhood. There are some minorities that live there. There are some minorities that live there, but you don't see them that often. So, you know, there we go. No big deal. Okay? I was driving my Jimmy home. Okay? So, you know, it was about like 11:30 at night. We all leave. Everybody starts their car up, and we start taking off. You know, I go one route. I mean, there's a lot of different routes I used to go home. If I want to go to a bar, I go to a different route. This time I want to go straight home. I was driving home. It's a 25 mile an hour area. So I'm driving like 20 miles an hour. Okay? I'm not getting pulled over in this place. Especially since the police officers are kind of reported to be dicks. That's what the common knowledge is. Of course, it's just it's generalized, but, you know, if you have to go to an area where they're known to be really asshole-ish, you don't want to mess around in that area. Or you want to get out of there as fast as possible. But still go the speed limit. So I'm driving the speed limit. I know this is a certain vehicle that's behind me. Of course, because the lights are on, right? All through the resident area, every stop sign I stop at. I stop at the stop sign, wait a couple seconds, then I go. Okay? As soon as I hit the major road that goes towards the freeway, that's when the lights hit. And I'm like, okay. Alright. I pull over on the side of the road like I'm supposed to. I take my wallet. You know, while they're sitting there, I take my wallet. I stop the car. My keys, put it on the dashboard right here. Take my wallet, put that on the dashboard right here. Open my glove compartment. On a Ziploc bag, I have my registration and proof of insurance. Close it up. Set it right there. Hands in 10 and 2. Roll the window down a certain way because it's at night. I don't trust you totally. Trust me. You don't know. The reason why I'm like that is because a lot of times I had to drive through Detroit. Now, Detroit's not dangerous at all, but the problem is that sometimes if a car is following you closely for a long period of time, something's not right. And you try to skedaddle as fast as possible. I don't want any kind of carjacking or drug, not that I'm afraid of that. If I can avoid it, I would. So what happened to two cops come on both sides of the car. The one on the driver's side had his hand like this. Okay, so that tells me he has his hands on he's ready to pull if he has to. Okay, I'm sitting there like, okay. Then I glance at the other side. The other officer has his hand like this, has the pistol right in his hand. I'm like, and I look up. I'm like, what the fuck? What the actual fuck is going on here? Okay. Now, I don't know about you, but how many times a police officer come to your vehicle with their guns drawn? With the gun drawn. If that's standard operating procedure, I've never seen it. Okay, so you could say I'm kind of starting to worry a bit because I don't know what's going to happen. Now, obviously, I'm here, so obviously nothing did happen. Obviously, nothing did happen, but I'm looking around here. It's like, what's going on here? The guy, knocks on the door, on the window. You know why we pulled you over? I go, no, I don't. Sorry, I don't. And I ask, why is the other officer has his gun pointed at me? Well, some people said that you was a very suspicious person in the neighborhood, and there was a home invasion in that area. Okay, was there a home invasion in that area? I don't know. But the thing is that it matches my car. It matches my vehicle, the GMC Jimmy. If you ever know what a GMC Jimmy looks like, that's so. So the vehicle matched that. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. Far fetched, yes. Possible. Slightly possible. Yes, this incident could have happened, okay? But the problem was is that in the neighborhood where my friend lives, they know my vehicle. The neighbors know my vehicle. Because sometimes when I don't make it to my friend's house, they're like, "Hey, is your friend coming? What happened to your friend? His car wasn't there." And sometimes when I got a loaner because my car was, I got a rented a car because my car was down. Hey, I see you notice I'm driving a different car. Yeah, my car, the car's in the shop. So here's the thing: they know my vehicle. Okay, and they know, oh, he's here. Okay, he must be doing something with them. Okay, all right, fine. Would you like to step? Can you step out the car? I'm like, no. And I said, politely, I said, no, I can't right at this particular moment because I have no idea why you stopped me. He said, I told you there was a home invasion that matched your vehicle. I'm like, but wait, hold on a second. But how long were you following me? If my car was matching the home invasion and you saw my car, how come you just didn't stop me when I about to get into the car or anything like that? I said, well, I tell you what, sir. I said, Your Honor, Your Honor. I said, officer, I tell you what. You tell your partner to holster his weapon. I will come out the car peacefully. We don't do that. I'm like I said, I am very wary about this scenario right here. You can pull me out the car. You can get me out the car, and you can shoot me dead. You could shoot me. You could have shot me dead right now. But I'm fearing for my life right now. And like I said, I will comply with everything you want as long as he holsters his weapon. If you want to wait till some other vehicles, if you want to wait till some other officers come by, so be it. But I'm not coming out. I'm not coming out my car with this guy pointing his weapon at me. So what happens? We waited a little bit. Two other police officers came by, figure out what the problem was, and he said this guy's not going to come out. The other cop comes and said, "Well, this officer was pointing his gun at me, and I was not coming out then." Well, how do you know he pointed a gun? Well, if one officer has a flashlight flashing in my face, and I'm looking around, and I see the guy with a gun, I mean, those are very powerful flashlights. And I'm since me fearing for my life. How do I know they're not going to try to shoot me here? Once I get out the car, how do I know they're not going to shoot me? Just because. And so he asked, "Did you ever?" Yeah, I had my gun pointed at him because of what And he was like, and the other officer said, "Put your gun away." So he's like, "But this guy," was like, "Put your gun away." He put his gun away. So he put his gun away. Get out the car. I got out the car. Put your hands behind your head. I put my hands behind my head like this. Stand there. They searching my person. Okay. Can you put your hands behind your back? So I put my hands behind my back. They handcuffed me and escorted me to the back side of the vehicle. It said, "Do you have any weapons?" I said, "No, I don't. I don't own a gun. Never had a use to owning a gun. Do you have any knives?" "No, why would I have a knife?" "Do you mind if we search your car?" I said, "Go ahead, search my car." "Well, while we're searching your car, we want you to sit in the back seat of that vehicle." I said, "Okay, fine." Put me in the back seat of the vehicle. These two officers started asking me all these questions. What was I doing? What was this? I explained to them verbatim. These guys said I was in some kind of home invasion. Then they go, they pull this. What is this? What is this? I'm like, that looks like my medication, sir. "Oh yeah." I was like, really now? So now here's the funny thing. Now, after about over half an hour of this, well, they say they pulled you over because your car matched the vehicle of a home invasion. But obviously, there's nothing. You didn't steal anything, so it's just mistaken identity. We're very sorry about that. You're very lucky today. I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky that I did not be involved in a home invasion. Even though I wasn't in a home invasion. I'm lucky. But okay, no problem. You can go home. I said, "There's my keys." I said, "I put my keys on the dash. My wallet's on the dash. My proof of everything on the dash." And said, "Yes, it's still there." They let me go. Now, when I say they trashed my car, they literally trashed my car. Everything was everywhere. Everything was everywhere. Even my book bag, my backpack, where I had my stuff in, that stuff was emptied all over the place. And I was like, freaking A, whatever. Now, when I tell people, now, the thing is, like I said, I'm still here. Whenever I hear people say that if you do nothing, you have nothing to worry about, then I tell them this story. Well, you just had some bad luck then. Here's the idea is this. It doesn't matter if you did something or not. It doesn't matter if you did something or not. The police are going to do what they think they're going to do. I'm not saying it's a good thing or it's a bad thing. Number one, that guy that got shot recently, Jake Blake or whatever. One, supposedly there was 5 cops around, but you only seen 2 in the video. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but how come 5 cops, if there was 5 police officers there, how come those 5 police officers couldn't subdue this one little skinny dude? This dude was skinny as hell. And when he said, did he have a knife in his hand? Some witnesses say he had a knife in his hand. Some people say he had a knife in his car. Maybe it could have been the knife that he had in his pocket. I don't know. But, who knows what it was? Who knows? No one really. I mean, until the whole thing comes about, you don't really know. Some people say he posed a threat. Some people say he wasn't. Oh, he had a warrant. He had this. He had that. The problem is, when in a situation like that, does it really matter if he had a warrant? Does it really matter about that? If you're police officers and you can't bring this dude alive without shooting him, then there's something wrong. You only supposed to shoot, if I don't understand, you're only supposed to shoot in dire need. Now you could say, yeah, we didn't know if he had a gun in his car. Yeah, but according to the video, there was 2 police officers right near this guy. You mean to tell me they couldn't tackle him? He got tased. Okay. You mean to tell me they couldn't tackle him down? Because the dude, they say he was running, but the dude looked like he was walking to me. So if I'm walking and this happened, so I mean, here's a question. I'm not saying this because I'm against a police officer or I'm against this dude. I'm just saying this is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm looking at right here. This is what I'm looking at. And like I said, I'm not against police officers at all. Even though about my incident. Even though I'm still alive. I mean, hell, if I was dead, you wouldn't be seeing this. But still, why did those police officers target me? All because of a mistaken identity at night? Now the thing is, and legit, that could have really happened. But as a person who is like myself, that don't sound right. If you don't look like me, that would sound like that sounds like that could happen to anybody. But if you look like me, that don't sound right, because stuff like this happens to people like me all the time. And even though I did nothing wrong and I shouldn't have any problems, stuff like this happen, people write it off as, well, you just had a bad night. It was just a bad night. It was a bad call. Just a bad call. Bad call. And when I explain this stuff, they write it off as like, it's no big deal. You're still alive. There's no big deal. But the problem is, that cop, because I quote unquote didn't comply at first, that cop could have shot me dead. Luckily, the other cop he must have knew I wasn't going to do anything until he, I'm not sure they understand if someone's going to comply or not, but you see what I'm saying? You don't know in that kind of situation. Luckily, that police officer had some sense to say, okay, we'll get some other people. Let's see if we can talk them out of this car. And thing is, let's say for example they did do something, and there was nothing to be had. You know how bad that would look? Exactly. Even though some people might say those police officers was in the right to do that, but you know how bad that looks for them? in the court of public opinion. Legally, they could have done everything. Legally, they could have done what they're supposed to do. But in the court of public opinion, they might not look at it that way. But then again, let's talk about that 17-year-old kid who who shot and killed two people. Or did he shot? I know he killed one, or he shot three and killed one or something like that. Walked towards the police officer to report it. The police officer said, "Stop," and he kept walking towards him. The police did nothing. They didn't get out the car to try to rush the kid. They didn't shoot. They didn't shoot him. They didn't do nothing. They just like, okay, go ahead. So when you see something like that, now was the kid in the right? Because some people say it was self-defense. I don't really know. But only thing I do know is that a 17-year-old kid shot and killed somebody. Tried to turn himself in to the police with his gun, and the police officer just let him go. They didn't even do anything. And then again, he looked totally different than me. So when someone like me sees that, I'm thinking, oh wow. Maybe because this guy, not like me, that's the reason why they let him go. But the other guy they shot in the back, because he looked like me, that's why they shot the guy in the back. And the problem is and the thing is that most people don't understand. That's how a lot of people like me look at this. Even though all the facts in the case may prove your point correct, but our perceptions this is what we see. So, I mean, what can you say? But, I talked a little bit too long about this, and like I said, I'm not blaming police officers for doing their job, because they have a tough job to do. Personally, if I was a police officer, I would not be I don't think I would try to shoot to kill unless you shot at me first. I'll try to bring you in alive, because the way how I look at it is that shooting you dead, if I was a police officer, shooting you dead would not serve the cause. See, it's funny thing, one of my friends who's not like me, he said, it doesn't matter if it was right or wrong. That's one less dead criminal in the street. But the funny thing is that guy is nowhere near you. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you how people can. I don't understand that. Then again, some people don't understand how I'm looking at this. Maybe because of cultural bias. Probably that's what it is. That's probably what it is. It's probably cultural bias. For example, a lot of Latinos and African Americans suffer from stuff like this a lot. But it's funny, a person who looks like me, and he's a conservative, he says, well, please shoot more whites than blacks. Okay. So, but where's the video of that? Where's the proof that shows that? Where's these studies? Every study I look at tell me something totally opposite. But then again, like I said, maybe I'm looking at the wrong studies. I don't know. I'm not saying this to change your mind. I'm not saying this to tell you I'm right, you're wrong, or you're right, I'm wrong. I'm just telling you this so that way you can understand a person like my perspective on things like this. Based upon like that, I could see myself being that dude. I could see myself being that dude that got shot in the back 7 times. I could see myself being George Floyd. Now, true, I don't take drugs, but still, the whole matter about you're sitting in your car and cops coming out there with guns on you, I could see that happening to me, because kind of it did. It basically did. You know, so I'm like, yeah. But anyway, if you want to leave a comment on this, go ahead and leave a comment. The only thing I'd say, just try to be respectful as possibly as you can. Um, I'm not going to delete anything, of course. I never delete any comments on this, on any of my videos. Um, like I said, this is just from my own perspective, and most of that my perspective is based on prior experiences that I experienced, and I don't know. I don't have an answer for this stuff. The only thing I'm saying is that, should that guy got shot 7 times? I mean, at least the guy's still alive, yeah. But the thing is, imagine if they go to court and he sues the police and he wins. Imagine that. Imagine George Floyd's family suing the police department and winning. It's just like Rodney King. If you don't believe me, think about the Rodney King incident or read about the Rodney King incident. Out of 4 cops, 2 of them was convicted. One cop, because he tried to stop them from beating them too hard, he got off free, luckily. But think about that. And think about the lawsuit against the police department. And even though technically Rodney King was technically one of those he deserved what he got kind of people, it kind of told you that was wrong. Okay? But, hey, who knows? And to tell you the truth, I'm very sorry that this is a very long video. I'm very sorry about that. But like I said, if you watch to the end, don't make any assumptions and stuff to the end of the video, which is about almost now. And the only thing I'm going to say is that imagine if I did not really have my wits about me that day. Imagine if I didn't have my wits about me. I wouldn't be here. Or it's possible I wouldn't be here. Who knows? But anyway, with that, I'm going to try to enjoy the rest of my night. And like I said, if you want to leave something, leave it. If you want to give it a thumbs up, give it a thumbs up. If you want to give it a thumbs down, give it a thumbs down. If you want to comment, or share the video, go ahead and share the video if you like. I don't know. But like I said, just try to keep an open mind about certain things. Okay? Even though my mind is sometimes closed. I'm trying to keep an open mind about things. And even though I say, even though I tell my friends, he probably did deserve that, but does it really deserve to get shot 7 times? Couldn't they try to bring him alive? And the funny thing is, people don't quite understand that. I'm trying to say, the police may have been in their right, but the thing is, they didn't really have to shoot the guy like that. Sorry. But anyway, talk to you guys later. All right, bye.